Welcome to Untitled Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Libra for the month of April 2021. Okay, Libra, so we're in Aries. Today's the 24th of March. So we're in the sign of Aries, which is the element of fire. So expect a lot of movement, a lot of action, positivity. But the key word really is it should be a very fast-paced month. And to boot, we have the energy around us, the King of Wands, so the King of Fire. So that is about traveling. It's about leadership as well. You have a King of Wands in your life. He would be a Leo, an Aries, or a Sagittarian man. Very much a mover and shaker, this person, but also has very strong leadership qualities. Okay, King of Wands, going places. Where you are right now, Libra, is the High Priestess, so secrets, keeping your own counsel, secrets that get exposed will come to the surface. But the main theme of this card is to keep your own counsel and know what is going on. It's sort of like getting to the bottom of something. It's a Pisces card, so it's very intuitive, very much under the surface, this one. So whatever comes up for you in the next 4 weeks, it's going to be quite interesting, to say the least, Libra. Let's see what's brought her in, though. Let's see why we've got the High Priestess here, the influencing card that will influence the whole 10 cards. 5 of Swords, so arguments, troublemakers, a lot of chat going on. Now, it's a weaker card, actually, the 5 of Swords, Libra. So, but this is about a group of people. I'm assuming it's usually family or work. So these people, it's just a lot of talk amongst themselves. So we can safely say there's about 5 people in this little group. And they're just talking off the top of their heads. It really has no... it's just chat, if you know what I mean. This is a card for Aquarius, which is a very airy-fairy card anyway. It's an air sign like yourselves, but you know, the negative side of air can be a lot of gossipy, chatty, supposition sort of talk that really doesn't have much basis. So you'd be very... whilst you hear the chatter, you'd be very well advised just to skirt around that, because it doesn't, it's all about covering up too. I think there's a cover up somehow here with the High Priestess. Something's, yeah, it's almost like a distraction as well. So we'll go to the background and see what was going on for you in February, March, now that that's done. We have the Fool, so new beginnings, new chapter, new book, new everything really. So just jump in. So it's almost, it's a really nice card actually, the Fool, because it is the start of the journey of the major tarot. So it talks about just go for it. There's nothing to lose. And you'll find out on the way. What you do, you know, mistakes are made so you can learn from them. That's about the sum of the Fool. So never be afraid to make a mistake, because once you learn from it, you'll never make it again, more or less. And that's the story of the Fool. It's like a new journey for you to go on. And indeed, something's going on here. So where's you going to start again in the journey of the 22 tarot cards, which means you'll learn different things along the way when different major cards come into play. Let's see recent influences. And we have the 7 of Wands, so standing up for oneself, fighting one's corner. being in the race, but also your voice needs to be heard as well. Because I'm guessing this is the influencing card, so this group of people are really, they can be quite spiteful. If you look at the claws, are actually knives, so swords. So you're dealing with a group of, yeah, they're just ill-informed, I think, actually. And so therefore you're going to have to be fighting your corner quite strictly, using your voice. So interesting, Libra, but you're not ones to shy away from a bit of a tussle. And don't give up too is this Seven of Wands. Sevens are always about, it's sort of unknown, the number 7, but it's like go in there ready for a bit of a stoush. Let's see the lesson you'll be learning. The Chariot. So emotional discipline is the key meaning of this card. So you have to be disciplined, especially with these, because this one here, the 5, the influencer, that's the group that you're going to have the bother from. So you need to really be disciplined about how you listen, how you keep your own counsel, how you treat this whole next 4 weeks, how you manage it is really important. Because it will be successful and you will be victorious once, but you have to be emotionally disciplined. So you can't just go off half-cocked at somebody or this group particularly. You've got to sort of just keep it all, just be more of a listener, in fact, Libra. Near future we have, this one keeps coming up. So people from our past life stories coming back in. These can go back years and years to childhood times. It's actually a card, if you see it, it's very child. There's a child in the forefront there. So it's very much going back in time, bringing up old stuff. Very interesting. So, you know, and once again we have to see it's quite an interesting time. It's very, very karmic, Libra. So just be, as we said here, very disciplined emotionally, because this is all going to rise up to the surface again. There's something that hasn't been dealt with, and you know how it works too, just on the basis of karma. You know, you reap what you sow, but this has a lot of traction here. Okay, let's see what's happening that you're not realizing. And then we have this man. So we have the King of Swords. He's a very good speaker, this man, but inside all the hardware he's got on, all this armour, there's quite a scared little boy. But he talks the talk and he walks around with the armour on, isn't it? So we know. The picture says 1,000 words, really, with this card. He's unlike this one that just goes in hard and fights. This one is sort of hiding behind something. It's a lawyer or a legal person normally, and I don't mean to talk down about people who work in the law or lawyers, people like that, but they're very good at twisting and manipulating to get what the desired effect, aren't they? And that's just, everybody actually understands that. But this is him. So watch out for this one. Watch out for the smooth talker this month, because actually it's quite a weak person inside this, all this hardware he's wearing. So that's the key, this one, this person. Okay, let us see how other people see you. With choices, decisions to make, forward-moving energy with this Two of Wands. But you've got to make a choice. Do you go with the sun or do you go with the moon? It's sort of the fork in the road. Do you go towards the unknown or do you go towards where the path is really brightly lit? And people see that in you. So there is something really interesting happening for you, Libra, in April, Aries time. Especially, and I always, look, it's sequential, so it's something to do with him. This decision of where you go. Okay, let's see what you're feeling positive about in April, March, April. Queen of Cups, and once again, the very intuitive queen. She's the sponge. She just sits back, she listens, she watches, she takes notes. She doesn't often say very much, but she takes it all in. And so, very similar to your High Priestess, similar energy. She's a water sign. She's very much a sign of, she's highly intuitive, and she's just watching non-verbal and verbal. And usually the non-verbal tells you more than the verbal. So there you go. So there's something really interesting coming to the surface. However, you'll be fine. I think for you, it's all a lesson in this emotional discipline, because that is your lesson for this month. And it's really hard to emotionally discipline ourselves. It's not easy, but it can be done. Okay, let's see the outcome. And yeah, a bit of a deer in the headlights there, and another 2, so another decision to be made, not knowing which way to go. Take off the blindfold and put the swords down and take off the blindfold. Because this is a weaker card, but sometimes we can get, and it's an air, it belongs to element of air, so sometimes you can get sort of befuddled. I'm just going to put an extra on that 2 of Swords to help you realise what this decision is you have to make. Yeah, it's a long, this is just like, it's been a long drawn out process, what you're going through. And so this is the card to say, okay, you're nearly at the end, just go for it. Thank you very much for listening, Libra. We'll talk to you next month.